Alright, you guys. So, this video is going to be way too long for me just to post on Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels or whatever. So I decided just to make a full video to put on YouTube. So for those of you out of the loop in Railfan space or whatever, you know the clown that is Shawn B, who put up a video next week harassing one of the conductors for purposefully blocking off his neighborhood. But he posted a video to his channel where a cop come to question him because the Union Pacific apparently filed a complaint because of his harassment. So let's react to the video, and spoiler alert, you're going to want to go to a different planet after you watch this.
Can I help you?
Hi, Shawn.
Hi.
Hi. I'm here because you were calling the UPS about 15 times complaining about the train.
I asked for a supervisor 15 times and they kept hanging up on me. They kept transferring me to another email service.
Yeah, because you're complaining about a train that's driving.
He does this no, he's not driving through. He's sitting right here next to my neighbor's house every single night at 8 p.m. Every single night you come down here, there's going to be a train sitting here between 8 and 9 p.m. He does this every single night. I've called the Union Pacific about it a number of times, and they continue to do nothing about it.
What would you like them to do, man?
I'm going to try to provide a little context here. So if the cops had to be called on Shawn B, if the Union Pacific had to file a report against him, then I can only guess out of a whim that Shawn has continuously spam called to the point where this had to be, as we will watch later on. Now, this guy lives near an active rail yard. Anytime you're near a yard, there's going to be a lot of train activity, a lot of trains passing through, in and out, whatever. So the train would come at 10, 8, in the middle of the night, and this guy's under the impression that they're harassing him, and I don't know what sense does that make. I don't know on what planet that makes any sense. And he even posted a video where he argued with one of the conductors when they were probably just following orders, waiting for clearance to move.
What do you mean? He can back up to 9th Avenue and he's not going to be bothering anybody. That's 2 blocks away.
They're offloading stuff right here.
No, they're not. They're not offloading stuff when they're parked right in front of my house. How is that even physically possible?
Yeah, I mean, it's a train, so there's going to be numerous cars that are attached to the train, right?
It doesn't matter if the train is 3 blocks long or 2 miles long. He's always sitting out here right there, just to where he's blocking the sidewalk and the street. He does it every single night.
And what would you like them to do about it?
Like I said, I would like them to stop on 9th Avenue where they're not in the middle of a residential neighborhood. Have you seen these tracks?
Right. And here's the deal: is you bought a house that's right next to
I did not buy a house that was right here. And if you want to bring that up, those tracks were meant for carrying passenger trains. That's why people built houses down here. They weren't carrying overloaded freight trains on these tracks back when they were built.
I want to know, when did the Union Pacific used to carry passengers? The guy is saying, oh, this is supposed to be for passenger trains, it's not for freight trains. Sometimes I've seen passenger and freight trains come through the same line. I see it all the time. If you're on Amtrak, you might see a freight train go through, whatever. So I don't quite understand this guy's logic here.
They should have been pulled back in 1973 when the Union Pacific stopped hauling passengers, and they didn't do that. They've been operating on these tracks illegally pretty much for a long time because they're exceeding the weight capacity on these things. I got over 300 videos online of it. I've taken it up with the city council. I've talked to the mayor about it.
If he's talked to the city council, mayor, whoever, and they're like, we can't do anything about this, like there's nothing that could be done. So that should tell this clown that he's just wasting the city's resources or whatever. You're literally wasting these people's time over a train that's doing nothing, deterring them from their serious, more high priority work or whatever.
Okay. Here's the deal, man, okay? The Union Pacific, whoever you're calling, they no longer want you calling them, okay? Because here's the deal: you calling them.
They need to do something about the
calling them
problem.
15 times over, you're harassing them.
No,
Yes,
they are
you
harassing me.
No, they're not.
How am I harassing them? How am I harassing
Because
them?
you're calling them 15 times.
What part of the law?
No,
what part of the law am I violating?
It's called harassment communication.
How am I violating
harassment
them?
third degree.
How am I harassing them?
Yeah, okay. Lawyers or law people, and explain this to me in layman's terms for me with the harassment and communications. Usually if you do something and someone doesn't like it, they're like, stop, can you please stop it? So I'm pretty sure that whoever Shawn was calling, they're like, look bro, can you please stop clogging up the line? Please stop clogging up the line. You need to wait your turn, wait till we get a hold of you, and he probably didn't do that. So evidently he's done this more than one time, on more than one occasion. Because I don't think one little incident may not be enough to send the police out. At least the way I see it. Like I said, all laws are different, all laws vary. But the way I see it, he had to have been spamming their hotline for a minute if it got bad to the point where the police was called. When he says they're hanging up, I'm thinking that maybe they gave him an email that he had to write down to send a message to. Because you know how you have to be the prompts, like which way do you want to file your complaint? Press 1 for email, press 2 for this, press 3 for that. And usually the prompts rinse and repeat like maybe a couple times and it disconnects automatically. So it's possible because he wants to file a report like they're committing a crime and he didn't get that prompt and it probably just disconnected on its own. I don't know. Then again, without records, all I can do is guess what I believe happened. And just based on when I've had to call hotlines for things like cable and the hoops I had to jump through to talk to a human and all the different channels I'm forwarded to.
Because you are calling them over and over
I'm not making any threats. I'm not calling them any names. I'm not doing anything. I'm simply calling them trying to make a complaint.
15 times.
I'm trying to call and make a complaint with them. And they are ignoring my complaint.
Times. Because there's nothing they can do about it, dude.
Why can't they do anything about it? They called you guys. They had you guys come out here. They can't call the train and tell them. They can't call the train and have them back up 2 blocks.
No, because
why can't they back up 2 blocks? Explain this to me.
Something down there.
Explain this to me, train police. Why can't they block up?
I don't work for the. Yes.
Why can't they back up 2 blocks?
Because that's not how it works.
Why? Where's the switches? Where's the switches? Where's their light down here? I don't see anything. Why can't they back up 2 blocks? Train is 3 blocks long.
Such an issue for you,
why can't they back up 2 blocks?
I would recommend that you move.
That's literally what the comments have been telling him this whole time. If the train is such an issue for you, move. Move if you don't like it. This guy is the one that chose to live near a train track. Even if his folks bought that house, still, what was stopping him from saving up money and then moving if the train was becoming a problem? Or at the better yet, I understand moving isn't cheap and it takes time, but the better yet, staying at a friend's house over the weekends from work, or staying at another relative's house for work, or maybe staying at a hotel for the weekend just to get a break from the noise from the train. There are a lot of things that he can do besides trying to cancel them for simply just doing their job, keeping this country running. I wish this fool known that without the railroad, he wouldn't have half the stuff that he owns. He wouldn't have the phone and computer or whatever he uses to record and upload, edit these ludicrous videos. Yo, my laptop and my microphone and all my equipment in my computer, in my room, all of that stuff I own, I was able to get it because of the railroad.
And so you don't have to deal with this.
That's not the solution. This is intolerable. Who's your supervisor? I want to speak to your supervisor, your watch commander.
He doesn't come out for something like this.
Yeah. Why did you come out here for something like this?
Because the Union Pacific called us that you called them over 15 times.
They have their own police department. Don't they have federal jurisdiction? Every time I call you guys about this, you tell me you can't do anything about it. Because they got federal jurisdiction. They can back up their goddamn train 2 blocks. Yes, they can. If it's 3 blocks long, they're not even going to be in the train yard. They can back it up 2 blocks.
Shawn, here's the deal. If you keep calling them, I will come back and I will arrest you for harassment third.
They've already done that, and I beat that.
Okay, so, alright. So he says that originally Union Pacific has had him charged for harassment and he beat it. Now that I remember, when he made his video called Christmas Harassment by the Union Pacific or whatever, a commenter said he just mad because the Union Pacific had him charged a couple years ago. So he started posting these videos 8 months ago or 9 months ago, so it seems. So whenever the Union Pacific charged him originally, we don't really have anything to go off on. I would assume that what he's doing now, he did before, but he just wasn't posting videos online. But now that it has these videos online, you know, harassing the crew and then making claims against them like they're peeping in his window. Because that's not a good accusation to make about someone. You can do serious damage to someone's livelihood, their career, painting them as this weird old creep, right? So I don't know what happened that caused him to win. Because if the Union Pacific had damning evidence to take him to court in the beginning, why wasn't he fined or jailed or whatever the case may be? So it's a little sus that if the Union Pacific had him charged before, and I'm pretty sure they had damning evidence and a good lawyer team to back them, how did they lose?
But you can't keep calling them. I will arrest you for harassment third. I don't care.
Who's going to be pressing the charges?
The
Union
Union Pacific Railroad.
They have made a formal complaint for us to come out here and talk to you, for you to stop calling them.
That's great. Well, what are they going to do about my complaint? Who's going to take my complaint? Are you guys going to file a report and take my complaint?
Stop talking. We don't work for the railroad.
Exactly.
If you keep calling them, they are the victim.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not the victim.
Yes,
that is
they
some
are.
bullshit.
They are the victim.
That is some straight up bullshit.
Harassing them.
The cop is literally explaining you why it's harassment. He said harassment third. Does that mean third degree harassment? Because you know how specific offenses have degree, like first degree battery or whatever you call it. Like I said, I'm not a law person, so y'all gotta explain this in layman's terms for me. So if the cop is saying that Shawn could be charged for harassment third degree, then evidently, as I said earlier in this video, he had to have spammed their hotline on more than one occasion. I would assume during the quote-unquote Memorial Day harassment, I'm putting that in quotation marks. You can't see it, but I'm putting it in quotation marks. That had to have been when he was spamming their hotline with these calls. Because you don't realize when you constantly call and fill up the messages, then it'll take them longer to get to everybody. And you're clogging up the hotline over a train that's doing their railroad duties, meaning somebody else who has something genuine to report, they can't get a hold of somebody because they're busy trying to get through your hundreds of calls. Like, I've never worked in a call center, so I would assume, you know, it would overwhelm the switchboard a bit with all those calls coming in, like, hey, please hold, and then he hold, and you got all these people on hold, and everybody else who has something genuine to report has to wait forever to get somebody, because all the employees are busy, you know, lowering the queue consist of this clown's calls.
No.
I will come back here and I will arrest you.
Like I said 100 times now, I was trying to make a complaint. Every time I tried to make a complaint, every time I tried to get a hold of a supervisor, they kept transferring me to an automated voicemail about a block crossing. It's not a block crossing, all right? This guy's breaking the law. He's harassing people in this entire neighborhood.
Block crossing.
No, he's harassing people. He's backing up and forth.
You realize you're the only one in this neighborhood who calls.
No, I am not the only person in the neighborhood that calls. There's a person over there at 6th Avenue who calls all the time. There's a person over on 8th Avenue who calls all the time. And there's a number of people right along the street who keep calling.
We get calls about you.
Because they wind up getting intimidated by the railroad. All right? The railroad sends you people out here whenever somebody complains. This is intimidation.
No.
This is how they intimidate people.
So he thinks that other neighbors are also reporting the train, while the cop is saying we've been getting all these calls about you. So my assumption is, even if his neighbors were calling, and more than likely they were calling the railroad, someone that can actually do something. And when the employee was like, you know, we're going to email you this survey, fill out this questionnaire, and they probably just did that. Or if they were told, you know what, we can't do anything, they just took that with a grain of salt, went on about their day, and moved. Because I remember he posted a video saying the Union Pacific is forcing families out of their homes, phrasing it like they had to flee overnight, like they're escaping some major disaster. But more or less, they moved and aren't making ludicrous videos like this guy is. So even if they were complaining, they probably were taking it to someone who could actually do something about it.
It's a problem.
No, this is how they intimidate people.
I will, if you keep calling them and they wish to pursue charges, I will come in and arrest you for harassment third.
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, if I try to call the railroad and complain about how they're operating in a dangerous manner, you're going to arrest me for trying to file a complaint.
Shawn, if you call repeatedly, like 15 times in a row, that is harassment third.
How am I supposed to file a complaint? When they keep hanging up on me, when they keep transferring me, how am I supposed to do that?
Leave a freaking voicemail. I don't know.
Yeah, I've left a number of
Here's the
voicemails.
deal, dude. This isn't the first time you've called them, right?
No.
So they know who you are.
Yeah, I know.
That's how we got sent here.
Like I said, they've already had me arrested before, and I beat that with no problem because it was a bunch of bullshit in the first place. You guys are talking about you want to arrest me again? You want to arrest me again because the Union Pathetic told you to.
You could potentially be arrested for harassment. When you call them, I don't care if you call and want to file a complaint, but you're not going to call them 15 times over and over again trying to file your complaint. If it doesn't work the first time, then too damn bad.
You just have to give up. You just have to give up and let the railroad do whatever they want, huh?
Because they're doing their job.
No, they're not doing their job. They're
doing their
harassing
job.
people.
They're not
It's harassment,
harassing people.
and
It's
they're
not.
harassing
It's
people
not.
every single night. They're down here at 8 p.m. How is that not harassment?
Do you not think it affects our job too?
What kind of a coincidence is that?
Do you not think that it affects our job too?
Explain. I know, and
How
I'm
about you
tried.
ask for the train schedule? I don't know.
It's clear that these cops, they're telling you they do not know the rules of the railroad, so they do not have much information to give you besides leave a voicemail, send out whatever forms they want you to fill out or whatever. It's clear, like, they don't work for the railroad. They're just typical city police officers patrolling the neighborhood, responding to break-ins, responding to disturbance calls and all that such. You need to talk to somebody who works for the railroad and actually can do something, like submit a feedback ticket or something. Make the place a quiet zone. Hell, that's better than harassing the workers for doing their job. I hate quiet zones with every fiber of my being. But hell, that'll be better than your constant badgering and harassing the train crew.
Okay, you can't tell me how I'm supposed to file a complaint. You can't tell me, why they're down here in the first place, but you're going to arrest me if I try to complain about it again. That's what you're telling me.
No, I'm telling you that you are going to potentially be arrested for harassment if you call them 15 times over and over again. If you call them once and want to file a complaint, so be it. But you're not.
I wasn't able to do that.
Okay, then don't. You're not calling them 15 times over.
So
and
I
over
can't
again.
make a complaint.
So if they send,
so I can't make a complaint.
If they send you
if
to
the
an
Union
automated
Pacific
system the
says
first
that I
time,
can't make a complaint, then I just have to give
you're
up and
obviously
go
not-
away.
you're obviously-
Otherwise, you're going to arrest
obviously
me.
not listening.
No, I'm
What
listening.
did
You're
I
not
just
making
tell
any
you?
sense.
What did I just tell you?
You're not making any sense.
I am. I'm making perfect sense.
No, you're not.
I told you that if you call one time and want to make a complaint, so be it. That's your right. Absolutely, it is. But what you cannot do is call them 15 times over and over again, trying to file your complaint when it obviously did not work the first time.
Yeah, because they hung up on me.
Mr. B, clearly you have been in the twilight zone the entire time this cop was talking to you. You're like, oh, so you're going to arrest me if I call? Like, no, he is saying, if you continuously spam their hotline, he will arrest you. Union Pacific will have grounds to pursue charges and you will be arrested. That's what he said. He said that you can file a report or whatever, but you can't just spam their hotline constantly. If they send you a link to a survey or whatever the hell, then you go with whatever they give you to file your report. That's what the cop is saying. Because like I said, they do not work for the railroad. They can only tell you what they know.
They can fix it.
No,
they can
can't.
back up 2 goddamn blocks.
So
Explain why can't they do that?
What do you expect them to do when they need to go down to the fucking train station right here?
I expect them to wait down at 9th Avenue until that light turns green, and then they can fucking go.
That's not how it works, man.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
That's not how it
That's
works.
exactly what
Not
they've
how it
told
works.
me. That's
So if
exactly
you would
what
like
they've told
If you
me.
would like something done, then how about you apply for the railroad company and you change it? instead of being a pain in the ass.
That is stupid.
Calling and complaining.
That is stupid.
The cop is literally telling this guy what he can do. And he's like, nope, I don't want to do that. I want you guys to go and find them for harassing me in my neighborhood. And the cop is trying to tell him the same thing the commenters have said. When he's like, he should just back up 2 blocks. And the cop was like, nope, they can't do that. And that is right. They can't. They just back up and go when they please. They cannot do certain things without permission from dispatch or whoever. You know, that's what they're trying to tell this clown. But, like, nope. He thinks he knows more about railroad operations, and the crew has been doing this for centuries. I know some people have theories that he used to work for Union Pacific based on his disdain for them. But if he did, then he would know the protocol. If he was a dispatcher, then he knows that they can't move without permission. If he was a signaler, and if that's even a position for freight railroad, then he knows that they can't go until the block is clear. Or carman or whatever, he knows that they can't pull off until inspections are done, or whatever yard duties have to be completed first.
No, I'm giving you options. You're just too big of a wuss to do it.
Damn! Oh, really? I'm a wuss. I'm a fucking submariner. Don't call me a wuss.
You're too righteous to go apply for the train company.
Yeah.
So
you see that? Honking right there?
Yeah,
Because you have to. It's
he's notifying people that could potentially be driving.
They do that in
You
every
clearly
Wow.
have no idea what
You're
you're
blind.
talking
Blind.
about.
They do
Blind.
that in every intersection, man.
I know they do that at every intersection, but he doesn't do the
That's
little
not harassment. That's
Yeah,
their job.
it's-
That is
they're
their
doing their
protocol.
job.
This is not harassment. I agree with you
it's
on
a
that.
trade.
This is not harassment. When he's sitting out here right in front of my house every single night for 2 goddamn weeks straight, 5 or 6 hours at a time, last Memorial weekend, that's harassment.
So you're leaving your house every hour trying to leave.
So let me get this straight. You're saying that it's not harassment for the train to roll into the neighborhood. See, you're saying it's harassment when they have to stop for the block to clear or for whatever reason. That makes about as much sense as a vegetarian eating meat. That's all I have to say on this matter.
Is that what you're saying?
Hey, if I want to do that, then yeah.
Okay.
I DoorDash for a living. I'm going to leave my house every hour, and I can't do my job because these guys are harassing me.
It's not at all, man. 88. It's not at all. They're doing their job. Just like I'm doing my job. Coming in
They're
and
not
talking
doing
to
their
you,
job.
Who's being a nuisance, calling the railroad company.
Well, I mean, I just filed a
If you-
complaint with you guys.
if
I
you
just
would-
filed a complaint with
if
the
you
FBI
would-
too.
Sure. If you would like something done, apply for the railroad company and change how
That's
they do things.
No, the mayor's going to hear about this.
Okay, well, what did the FBI say exactly when you called them about the train? What the hell? What do you think the FBI can do about the train? So you're pulling the FBI from a cyber attack, arguing with your goofy because you think the train's harassing you. Like why can't this guy just be arrested? Because he's clearly wasting time and resources. Like if he's called the cops numerous times, because it is illegal to make phony calls to the cops. So I'm saying, why couldn't he be arrested on those grounds, so to say? Assuming he's done this more than once. Because remember, if these cops are arguing with him, then he had to have done these things on multiple occasions. Because nobody's not going to just come out for one little offense. Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe, everything is different. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. But I'm just saying for the point where the cop says, if you keep doing this, then you will be charged for harassment. That's why I'm saying that he must have done this on multiple occasions. They want to be like, you will be arrested if you do this again just for one offense. I think that's what I'm trying to put at. But I just need to know on what planet did he think the FBI and the mayor can do about the train. He needs to call somebody who can do something, or at least give him answers, which is Union Pacific. They're the ones that can give him answers. And had he filled out the survey or whatever he was going to be sent, maybe he would have gotten answers on why they blocked the crossing for so long. Example, if that line's just really busy.
Bet those people down there got a lot of complaints about that too, since you can't even go anywhere.
We haven't been there once for somebody complaining about the train.
Oh well, that doesn't concern me. Don't give a shit. How does that got to work? How does that deal with me? How does that deal with me?
Because you were the
down there on
only one who
23rd
calls
Avenue.
and complains
And I'm going to call you a
consistently.
liar. I'm going to call you a liar on that because I know for a fact other people are calling in.
The cop literally said that he hasn't gotten any calls from people on that street. That you're the only person that they're getting calls and complaints about. He just told you.
And they might be, but they're not calling to the point where we're getting called.
What are they doing? They call?
Hey, I'm seeing you guys out here, so I'm making progress. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, because you're calling them 15 times when obviously you didn't work the first 3.
Because you're potentially doing a crime, which is harassment.
You say that you're being harassed.
They're the ones that are harassing people.
Yeah. So then you're going to return the favor and start harassing them.
No, I've tried to file a
It
complaint.
absolutely is what you're doing.
It's like you're not listening.
You're not listening. They're telling you what to do. They're telling you you can file a report or whatever the hell, but you just can't keep spamming their hotline. The cop told you this like 100 times. So I'm just going to start editing through this because it's just the same thing. Oh, I can't complain. You're going to arrest me if I complain. The Union Pacific can do whatever the hell they want. So we're just going to be skipping through some of this because he just regurgitates the same thing over and over, and the cop tells him the same, you know, what he can do. Like he only has like 2 options: move, deal with it, call the hotline, don't spam, and just do whatever paperwork that they sent him or whatever the case may be. And he doesn't want to do any of that, so
I got a call back, don't I?
You are now harassing them.
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
No, it's what the law says.
I'll beat that case if they want to press charges.
Sure.
So you go ahead back to their federal jurisdiction and you tell them to go ahead and press charges against Shawn. See what happens. I'll take them to court with over 300 videos that I've already posted of them online, which, by the way, officers, this video will be posted online too.
Congratulations.
the cop is like, congratulations, I don't care. But the cop is right. You are harassing Union Pacific. Now, let's bear in mind that it was just about the numerous phone calls to their hotline. But I really wish the YouTube channel was brought up too. Maybe it'll come up later. I'm not sure. Or maybe they can't really do anything about his channel without like an order or something, like a court order or cease and desist or whatever you call it. I'm not sure. Does Union Pacific know about his channel? Because based on his conversation, it's specifically about his spam calls. Right, so I wonder if Union Pacific is aware of his channel, or if not, could someone, hint, send them a tip and outline the videos where he's made threat against the crew and harassed them and all that stuff. And it's possible he may have tampered with the train tracks, just a conspiracy theory in a way, and tampering with federal property can get you locked up for a long ass time. So have fun, Shawn. Enjoy your freedom while you can.
Cool.
I'm sure our body camera has better footage than yours.
Hey, you know what? That's great.
Yeah.
At least I'll have my proof where you can't edit it. So,
We
are we done here, officers? Huh? The train's gone.
Yeah.
Are you
So I want to make sure that we're perfectly clear on the expectations.
Tonight.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to call and make a complaint. That's your right. But you will not call them 15 times over and over and over again.
No, it's not my right to call them and make a complaint. All they got to do is hang up on me, and then you guys will come out and arrest me.
That's not why they called us.
Yeah, that's exactly why they called you.
us because you called 15.
That's exactly why they called you.
They called us because you called 15 times.
Because they hung up on me 15 times.
Yeah. So if it didn't work
you
the
said-
first 5, then you probably should have
They hung
gotten
up
the
on me
message.
15 times.
But you said they transferred you to somewhere where you could make a complaint.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
You literally said.
Yeah, you said you got transported.
They either transfer me to an email or they just hang up on me. Straight up.
You
Transfer
said-
me to an
you
So
said-
send the email.
You said.
Send the
that
email.
They transferred you to a
You're making
voicemail.
excuses for yourself.
Oh, you literally told the cop right here and there, and he even called you out on it, that they did give you a way to file your report. But I guess the email wasn't fancy enough for you. It seems like that to me.
Are you going to try the circle logic, or are you guys done here? Seriously. I mean, you're no help.
No,
You,
because you want to talk to somebody in person about the train.
Yeah.
They are giving you an option to send.
I want to
email.
file a report. Can you guys take a report? Is that something that
No,
you can
because
do?
There's no criminal activity. Being
I want to
done.
file a report against guy driving 7042 harassing my neighborhood tonight. He was driving engine number 5337 last night.
Cool. I'm glad you can remember all that. That's fantastic. But it's not going to.
But you're not going to take. You're not going to take a
absolutely
report.
not.
It's not
No.
harassment.
There
No.
is no report to be taken by
Sitting down
by-
here every
by
single
the,
night,
by the train company,
backing up and forth,
doing
shaking
their
my
job, doing
shaking
their
my
job.
fucking house apart. I mean, you could probably see the cracks on the side. I fixed the ones that were on the
Yeah,
front.
I'm sure the train does that, man.
Yeah, the train can do that, my dude. Like when I went down south with my folks for the week, for a little end of summer getaway, it did feel like the train was vibrating the house. Like, it did feel like the train was shaking the house. But it's a fucking train. Trains do that. So, and if you think the train is gonna blow down your house like the big bad wolf, then clearly you need to upgrade the foundation or whatever. I'm not a carpenter. Help me out here. So we need the lawyers and the law enforcements to help me out. We need the railroaders to help me out. Now we need the carpenters to help me out. Carpenters, help me out here. If his house is in that feeble condition for the train to shake and crack it, then clearly it's the foundation, and it ain't got nothing to do with the train.
And oh yeah, I'm sure the train does that. Now you're just being exaggerated.
Are you even from Council Bluffs?
I am, yeah.
Really? Because you don't seem to know what the hell's going on here in Council Bluffs when it comes to train.
I work this West End. This is my district.
Yeah, you've never lived here, though, have you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really?
I work here 5 days a week, man.
Oh, yeah? Where are you from originally? Ohio?
Nope. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, and neither does
All right,
this whole thing.
Shawn, I'm telling you, do not call them 15 more times after we leave.
Can't they just block his number unless it's an emergency? Like, I'm quite sure he's calling the non-emergency hotline. Like, emergency hotline, leave that open, boy. The non-emergency hotline, like, I don't know. The cop is literally, like I said, it's just the same thing over and over, like I said. The cop is literally telling him that he can still follow the report, just don't keep spam calling them, right? And asking the cop, is he from there? He could be from a neighborhood like yours, where you just live by train tracks as a whole. And he hasn't gotten a single call about someone complaining about the train, which is why he's annoyed, because he keeps telling you they can't do anything. They're telling you what you can do, but that's not fancy enough for you.
And file a complaint by sending the email that they told you to email, but that's not good enough for you. Because you want to be the dude who thinks that you're above everybody and talk to somebody up in the train, right? That's who you are. An email's not good enough for you.
Insult me. Insult another submarine venture. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you
keep insulting me.
I'm glad
using your
I'm glad you can throw that out.
Excuse to be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very jerk move using your service to condone what you are doing. Do not do that. And also, if you are a vet, then you would know, what it's like when you have to follow orders that you may disagree with. Like those engineers and conductors you're bothering, they probably didn't vote to stop in front of your neighborhood, in your yard, or by your neighbor's house. They're doing what they're told. They're following orders. So like when you were in the Army or Navy or whatever you were in, you had to follow orders by your commander. So these engineers and conductors following orders that the dispatcher, whoever gave them. You would think that someone who served will understand the concept of, oh, I have to follow orders. I don't agree with this, but it's orders, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a veteran, so stop using it.
Yeah, what service? Air Force?
Army.
You think that's acceptable to use that you're a veteran as an excuse for this behavior?
No, I want some respect.
You should.
I want some respect from you guys.
Us, man.
Like if you want them to respect you, you need to respect them back. You need to be like, oh, I'm sorry, officers. I'm not gonna spam call the Union Pacific again. I'm gonna take your advice and apply to work for them, and put out better train schedules. I'm gonna apply for them, and I don't know, maybe work dispatch. I don't know what he could improve with how they run the trains. I don't know what improvements that can be made. Or I'll just suck it up and deal with the train, or I will move, okay? I need to save up. So I just stay at a hotel on my weekends off from work, or whatever the hell I gotta do. But no, you're like, the Union Pacific just gets to do what they want.
You of all people, if you were
what
a
are you
military
trying
man,
to accomplish
listen,
here?
you of all people as a military man should understand that these people are doing their job.
They're not doing their job. They're harassing people.
They're not.
If they were doing their job, they could do it right down there 2 blocks away on 9th Avenue. No, it's not that fucking hard.
Because they obviously have to go down there to do their job.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Oh, so you know how it works?
So they got to sit here, huh?
So
they got to sit. No, explain to me.
Then.
You know how it works, right? You know how it works.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find a balance where he isn't over talking the cops, so sorry if it feels like it cuts off too soon. But I feel like this video took 10 years off my life, okay? And I need to go to Mars You know, in fact, I'm in Mars right now making this video because I didn't want to be on Earth. This is why the aliens won't talk to us. But like I said, I would just never understand what's so hard for him to understand. The police can't do anything because the Union Pacific isn't doing anything illegal. They're doing their jobs. He doesn't realize that it really depends on how long the train is, and sometimes if the train is long enough, then they have to pull into his yard, wait for the switch to be thrown, and then back up and such. They back up pulling forward because they're switching cars. That's how you put a train together. You gotta back up and pull forward.
You don't know what's
Officer
going on over
Murray,
there,
you know how you guys know how it works, huh? You guys know how this works, right?
That there are
I mean, you
trains
guys know
that
how the
travel
railroad
free.
company operates, right? That's
Shawn,
what you're telling me.
Shawn, stop
Obviously
talking. Let us talk.
reason.
There might be another train blocking the track. He might be stuck here. It takes a while for a train
Why
to
can't he
stop.
back up 2 blocks?
Yeah, Shawn can't pass the stop being a jerk to people who are just doing their jobs challenge. That's all these engineers are doing is their jobs, and Shawn is acting like they volunteered as tribute to just sit by his house for nothing when that's not the case. They have no control over where they stop, where they go. They don't. He needs to talk to someone in charge, like dispatcher or yardmaster, whoever's in charge. It's like the Karens blaming the cashier for the prices, like the cashier set the prices. No, the owner of the store said it.
Unloading a
Actually,
lot
right
of
in front
cars.
Your front door would be right here. That's off there.
Yeah, whatever.
See,
Are you done here?
you just love to
Are you done here,
exaggerate.
Murray?
You would just love to
Are you
exaggerate.
done?
I would love to be, but you're forcing me to continue to banter to you about an issue that we shouldn't even be here in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why you guys showed up.
So the bottom line is, for the last time, you are more than allowed to call and make a complaint. But if they don't do anything on the first time, you cannot call them 15 times over and over again. If they refer to you to a voicemail or they refer to you to an email system, that's them giving you the way to complain.
Right, the voicemail, the email, survey, whatever. That's the options that they have in particular for him to file his report. But just like the officer said, he doesn't want to do that. So there isn't that much left of what's next. I'm just gonna let the rest play and give my final thoughts, you guys. I'm trying to find a balance between like reacting to Shawn and my commentary, Shawn commentary, just because I'm a little copyright paranoid when it comes to reactions like this. Because I decided this video would be best suited for YouTube because it's too long for a reel. Because I tried posting the one reaction to my reels and it was too long, and IG wouldn't let me reblog it in my stories. And story reblogs help me get more views, you know.
That's how you do it. Option one is you either go apply for the railroad company and you fix the issue yourself, or you follow what they're giving you and you do that. But by you calling them over and over again, you are now becoming the bad guy. Because they have other things to be doing than to sit here and listen to see your phone number ring over and over again for you calling and complaining about the same thing that hasn't been fixed in years. Are we clear?
Are you done?
I would love to be done because I don't enjoy talking to you.
All right, then leave.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that we're clear on the expectations. If you continue to call over and over again, there is a potential that you could be charged with harassment 3rd degree.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
Like I said,
Have a
they've
good
done it
day.
before. Goodbye. Get out. Thanks for your help, officers.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. You have a great day. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
After watching that, I decided maybe it's best to stay on Mars. It doesn't make any sense. So basically, the cop was saying that he can't keep spam calling. That he can file his complaint, but he just can't keep, blowing up their switchboard or whatever. And he translated that as he's not allowed to complain, that if he calls, he'll be arrested. All he had, the cop literally gave him options on what he can do. He didn't want to do it. And he said that he has been sued by Union Pacific before and somehow won. But if Union Pacific, assuming Union Pacific had damning evidence against him, I seriously don't know how he won. I don't know how Union Pacific lost if they had, because I would think they had enough evidence against him. So, that's what I was thinking. I don't know what he may have done before these videos started surfacing and before he started posting them on his channel. So just leave your thoughts in the comments down below. This is the closest that I'll ever come to being a reaction channel, because reacting to people isn't really my thing, because I just don't have the patience to get through the clownery that I am presented with. I don't understand. So, share the video with people. And I endured 18 minutes of this while my brain cells were depleting like sand or whatever. So, yep, share this video around. So it's possible that Shawn B is finally getting his just desserts. Because it seems like he has, he's been making these videos harassing the train crews for about almost a year, just about. Took them long enough, but I guess, like I said, you can't just jump and do stuff overnight. So I'm going to stay in Mars because I'm tired of this clown. Bye.